Let's get this top of the order.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
Okay, boys, time to wrap it up. Let's go home with some walk-off shots.
Hey, what's going on, world? This be your boy Eddie Cool, and welcome to another episode of your favorite sports podcast, none other than the Sports Bros podcast. Now, if you're loving the show, just do us a quick favor, hit that follow button, give us a like, and make sure you subscribe so that way you never miss an episode of the Sports Bros podcast, whether it be on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. Your support helps us keep this thing afloat and keeps it going. Also, follow us all over on social media. Just click that link in the chat or the description box to keep up with the bros. All right. And as I said, I'll be the head of creative here, Eddie Cool here at the Sports Bros podcast. Be live. My coworker has a propensity to crack jokes on me about my forehead, and they got great joy when they heard you talk about my forehead while I was away. That's this the kind of ish that goes. I told my coworker this is the kind of ish that goes on when I'm not there. But nevertheless, they enjoyed it. They said that I didn't. They didn't know I had a podcast. Hopefully, this person subscribes to it. If not, it's okay. I got a view out of them talking about this here forehead. All right, enough of my incoherent rambling. Not only do I have one, but I have two of the best co-hosts in the world. Introducing first El Capitan, who's pressing buttons here, and he could be pressing buttons somewhere else later on this evening. He is the almighty B Live.
Oh, I'll press his buttons.
I did say there
Well, I
you
mean,
go.
it's a given. Scott, let me go.
There you go. There you go with it. What's happening? What's going on in the world today? Oh, spring is in the air. I feel like I can actually say, can I say it's springtime? Yeah, because the weather down here in North Carolina be just doing the most. But I can smell the grass on the baseball field. I feel like we are here. It is baseball season. It is March Madness. Okay, I can smell the grass on the golf course. Masters is right around the corner. We are jam packed. Baseball, basketball, hockey, all golf, NASCAR, all of it. Just even spring football. And yeah, I'm coaching. I'm doing it all, and I am here for it. My schedule is jam-packed, and I absolutely love it. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. Oh, thank you to the Fayetteville Woodpeckers organization, the subsidiary of the Houston Astros, for allowing your boy to join the production team.
You barely have time for hangovers anymore. This is crazy.
Exactly.
Staying busy.
This is
busy,
a
man.
good thing. Man, I'm not left alone with my thoughts all the time. Gee, that's a whole nother story that I don't even think y'all ready for. But
Yeah.
We'll see what the VA decides to offer, brother. But man, talking about it. Ugh. Oh yeah. Go ahead and introduce the other guy because this ain't a therapy session. This is a sports podcast.
Sure ain't. I had my therapy session last Thursday, and I felt great. I felt great. There's a little sabbatical in between things. I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to enjoy it some more. So I'm getting my head right, get my mind right, and I'll be back and better than ever. Got to get that head right. If anything else, you got to get that head right. The other guy, he is the pride of Washington, Pennsylvania, and could he be calling a game tonight? He just might be. But other than that, he is the one, the only, the money man, Scotty D.
Oh, when you crash into me, Tiger, when I come into you.
Oh boy.
Get a driver if you're going to drink cough syrup, Tiger. Get a driver.
Yeah.
Not a tailor-made. Someone behind the car. Someone with that grabs the steering wheel. This guy's going to kill himself, Eddie Cole. He's going to hurt himself.
Here's the deal, man. It gets to a point to where it's like, you know what? With all this money I got, I might want to put a driver on the payroll. I don't know how much the ex-wife, gouged them for when they split up, but you gotta to all you celebrities out there. Some of y'all might not be thinking straight, and I don't want to insult your intelligence, but if you're gonna drink or drive or smoke anything or be under the influence, get you a driver.
He
if you're
wasn't
in
even drinking though. That's the thing.
yeah,
He's
if you
all
if
his
you
stuff happens in the daytime.
if you in Cleveland, hell, shoot me a DM. I'd rather see, I'd rather get you from point A to point B as opposed to you being on the news. Like we got to think. In the words of Scotty D, do better.
He's saying that he was looking down his cell phone and changing the radio station when it happened. So too much going on. Too much sensory overload.
Don't
But
you don't you have that thing on your steering? I digress. I'm not trying to tell any. I'm not trying to count pockets. I'm not trying to live
I
nobody's
don't know.
life. I don't understand it.
I'm
You know,
glad the guy's okay, but man, this is like three big ones now. He
yeah,
almost lost his leg a couple years ago, and then he had the thing with the first bad mug shot. Remember that first bad mug shot? And his
yeah.
wife swung a golf club at him, and
Oof.
I mean, pull it together. But you're Tiger Woods, for crying out loud. You're Tiger Woods.
Yeah,
Put on a red shirt and go shoot 18.
yeah,
That's what you need to do. That's what you
yeah.
need to do.
We want to talk about you getting ready for a possible run in the Masters, not whatever the hell this is. Tiger Woods, if you need to go talk to a therapist, I got her on speed dial. I can gladly get you to talk on double bad because yeah, ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world.
For a referral fee, because I know you got it.
Yeah, for that little referral fee.
Hey,
Let me get that kickback. You know what I'm saying? But either way, be live you wild. But either way, we over here rambling incoherently, but we just want Tiger Woods to do better. There was a whole lot of basketball being played this past weekend. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into the top of the order.
All right, let's get this thing started. Here it is, the top of the order.
Mm-hmm.
68, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4. If you know your movies, you know where that line is from. Not in particular order of numbers, but I'm talking about is the NCAA tournament. Didn't it start like last week, fellas? And we're already at the Final Four already? Like, what the hell's going on here?
2 weekends in, 1 weekend to go.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, when it comes in with a fury, it leaves out with a bang. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into it and talk about it. All right. So, in our brackets, fellas, did anyone any one of us have Illinois, UConn, Michigan, and Arizona to be the Final Four?
I did. I had him.
No, you did not. There are no perfect brackets in existence. It's over with.
I had all four of those teams.
Oh, let's talk about how Duke kind of gave it away, if you will. Ooh, that's a bad way to lose a game. Be live. It is a bad way to lose a game. Be live.
Let me do this because I've had this discussion with you guys a bit and quite a few other people. I've analyzed and overanalyzed this till I can't analyze it anymore.
Mm.
I've tried to put the onus on somebody. I've tried to be like, this should have been planned. This should have been a better coach. The players should know better. When you're on the court, instincts take over more than anything else. You can coach a lot of situations, but instincts will eventually take over. That's why you practice so many different, and you practice them over and over again to where it becomes second nature to do X, Y, and Z. With that being said, you practice more often that you find the open person. You keep your eyes up, you keep your eyes down the court to find the open person. That is instinctual more than anything else. Even in most situations, you find the open person. You know that they're going to be pressing. You know that they're going to be coming at you hard. The last thing any basketball player ever wants to do is freeze the ball. You always want to keep the ball moving. Even in and that's one of those things where in 99% of situations on the basketball court, you never want to freeze the ball. That's why they always tell you they don't pick up your dribble unless you know where the ball is going to go. So it's one of those things. It's just instinctual to keep the ball moving. So I try my best not to fault the players because the one player I was at Caden Boozer that ended up causing turned over the ball. In his mind, he sees two of his players with nobody around him. He immediately thinks, I get the ball down to them, this game is over. There's no doubt in my mind. And it's just, it really ends up being a knee-jerk reaction because me, I'm the type of person, I like to eat up clock. And then in that situation, I'm throwing the ball high up in the air. Like to get like to the point where it's going to clear the player, et cetera, and anybody that's trying to come after whatever. But again, I've never been in that high stress of a situation. These guys are, I mean, it's one of those things, you get to that level and we just automatically assume that these guys should be prepared for anything and everything. You get coached up with this, that, and the third. These programs make millions of dollars, got millions of dollars on their staff. They get all types of head coaches, assistants, all the whole 9 yard people drawing up plays, analyzing, videotape, et cetera, such and such and such.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing, and I mean nothing, can prepare you for that particular situation.
What about timeout? Did they have a timeout? I don't remember.
They did have a timeout.
Then maybe take a timeout and then you're prepared for that situation. That's on a coach.
Now, cause I need to look at, because I'm not 100% sure of how it goes, because I see all the time in college basketball that when they get the ball across half court, then they take a timeout. But I've seen in certain situations where, are they allowed to take a timeout right there? I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
Yeah.
So that it's one of those things.
No, but I mean, they should take a timeout before they inbounded the ball.
Right, and to draw it up, like, because here's the one thing.
Be sure of what you're doing instead of rushing what you're doing.
Here's the one thing that I did see to that point. I did see where they ran a play. They clearly ran a play, passed it off, passed it back to the inbounder.
Yep.
So this
and then advance it.
Yeah, I feel like it was drawn up, so they were somewhat prepared for it. But it just felt like there was that one key element.
Yeah, that could have happened the exact same way if they would have taken it. I don't know.
And so
I think, like you said, I think Boozer just rushed it.
Yeah, because it's one of those things. It's such a knee-jerk reaction when you see not one but two players wide open in that situation. Like, that there's nobody anywhere near them. Then the game is over. You get the ball to them, and so it's literally like catch, double team, and you try to get rid of the ball before the double team gets to you to where you're not trapped.
If he does, his buddies down there dunking it, and then they're dancing and celebrating with confetti.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, it's such a, like, there's certain things you like. That's like literally so instinctual to do that, and so to try to restrain for that, try to hold the ball, especially in a situation like that, because you do not want to end up getting trapped. But
the perplexing part about that is that they weren't they weren't that close to him, so he could have held it and allowed them to foul, or tried to make the pass after they got closer to him, but instead of rushing it. If he holds it, they're going to foul him. I think he made 6 of 6 from the free throw line that day, or 7 of 7, something like that. He was one of the guys that was actually shooting it well from the free throw line. So if he gets fouled, you like your chances. And let's say worst case scenario, he misses them both. Then there's going to be 2-point-something seconds for them to get a length of the floor. You had a better opportunity to set up a defense and protect that. That was just chaos. And I thought the shot was a terrible shot. It went in, but for him to pull, he pulled up with like 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and launched it from the logo. I thought, and then it went in. So it was a crazy, scattered, chaotic, fluky ending, and that guy probably wouldn't make that shot if he took it 100 more times.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's kind of like, I was like, all right, he got the ball. Ain't no way he makes it. Oh, he did.
Drainage.
Yeah.
Bottom.
And uncharacteristic for me, I actually felt bad for Duke. I felt bad for that kid because they said he was sobbing in the locker room and saying that he cost his team the game, when clearly that wasn't the case because they didn't score for over 6 minutes. UConn was clanking threes off everywhere. They weren't hitting anything. They were ice cold. down 19 in the first half, down 15 in the second half, and Duke had the size advantage. They were going inside and they were scoring, and they somehow got away from it. They went cold and couldn't score. If they score one basket in that 6.5 minutes, they would have won the game. They would have been too far ahead still. It would have.
I'm going to take the opportunity to say this because we have this platform as the Sports Bros podcast, and I live in the lovely state of North Carolina, and I'm going to take this opportunity to say this. When North Carolina, the Tar Heels in the first round were up by 19 and squandered away that lead, there was Duke fans all over the place, ragging him. Oh, Hubert Davis, he'll never get it done. Oh, they blew it. All the Duke fans had their chest out, talking cash. They were talking all the trash. Karma is an absolute MF.
Quick.
It is a female dog.
Quick.
Because this didn't, and this I know it stings. Because here's the thing: the Tar Heels didn't have their leading scorer, their star player. They're without him, so it was almost understood. That's when I made my bracket. I knew that North Carolina wasn't going to make it that way. The Blue Devils have been favorites to win it all. NBA talent across the board. 19-point lead in the Elite Eight. And now you're sitting at home. I know rivalries are rivalries, and everybody, we're going to talk trash when you talk trash. That is the nature of the beast. But man, the nature of the beast, the way that you, and this is not, John Shire, unfortunately, at this point in time, is starting to build the reputation of, can he win the big one? Because he's had nothing but talent since Coach K retired. Like, these guys are loaded. And he's still good coaching. He'll overcome this at some point, and I do think he'll win, or at least get to the Final Four. Duke win a championship, but why is Hurley head bumping and Eskimo kissing the ref? I did that. That's a whole.
He's unhinged.
What was that all about? Why did he do that?
I'm about to show some of my shoulder.
What
are you doing?
It's high emotion. Bro.
Why did he do that?
Can you imagine being down?
Foreheads with the official. The official let him do it.
Man, don't touch me.
Being down by 19, you don't think you're going to get back to that point. And for the win in that fashion, discipline.
So you decide, you know what? I've never. This is the most incredible or most remarkable thing that's ever happened during my coaching career. I've won 2 national championships, and that shot was crazy. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go press my forehead on the forehead of the referee. What?
And the fact the referee was like, no man, get off of me.
Yeah.
Like,
he kind of said, he didn't really say it. They just kind of did it, and it like 2 rams bucking horns, and then they went their opposite ways. Except it wasn't violent.
All you saw was this.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Why did he do that? Why did he do that? Tell me why he did that.
Before we move on, I want to make this point because you made a point about Shire.
So weird.
You made a point about Shire that he's gonna be back to the Final Four another year. It's to the point though with Duke and John Shire. It's gonna be they have to win it all.
Natty or bust. That's the sign they're gonna be holding. Natty or bust.
So that's one of those things. It's almost to that point. It's one of those things they're starting to be like, okay, because I mean they've been competitive every single year, but they haven't. He does not have a championship yet, and Scotty D's leaving us, but that's all right.
That's all right. We'll carry on. So it'll be interesting to see what Duke does. They regroup and reload talent. Of course they do. Will the Boozer boys be one and done, or are they going to stay and help build a dynasty? I saw a list the other day. When's the last time Duke won a national championship? Be live. Was it 2012?
15,
15.
2015.
Yeah, 2015. And since then, if you look at the list of talent that they had between 2015 and now, it's like all y'all want is one, one. All y'all want is one. Just like they give our Atlanta Braves hell for winning just one, and that's period of time between the nines. That's another sport, another day.
But here's the biggest point, and this also is a tribute to the nature of college sports, college basketball, and pro basketball. As I said, like right now, imagine Duke if all of their players stayed.
Oof.
Can you imagine a Duke team right now that had Cameron Boozer, Con Knipple,
Oof.
Cooper Flag? And the list is ridiculous. Like they would be unstoppable. But
Elton Brand, he'd still be there.
wow, here we
He
go.
said it, Bray. He missed the whole conversation.
But I mean, I get it. These guys are pro level basketball players, one and done. Duke has adopted that. Like, are we? Are we? Do we begin to start comparing John Shire to John Calipari?
Sorry.
I mean, but Calipari still has. He won one.
Yeah.
John Shire hasn't won it yet with all of his talent.
Mm.
And now we're possibly looking at a UConn team that could maybe win 3 out of the past 4. And despite Scotty D comments of Eskimo kissing refs and everything, Dan Hurley,
Why'd he do that?
Oh boy.
if he wins a 3rd championship in 4 years, he could do
He can do
whatever
what-
he wants.
He can't
That's
do no
why.
wrong.
He's forehead rubbing people.
I mean,
I tell you, I really
Eddie-
wish Michigan and Arizona were on opposite sides. I'd like to see that be the
Man,
championship game. That should be the
that-
best teams in basketball all year were Michigan, Arizona, and Duke. Those 3 were the 3 best teams. I would like. I hate that they're on the same side of the bracket. No disrespect to UConn and Illinois, who honestly I didn't see Illinois coming, but no
Yeah, none
disrespect
of
to
us
those
did.
guys. But I would have loved to have seen Michigan and Arizona play on the opposite sides of that. But whatever, that should be a heck of a game. That's the main event. Yeah, that's the Saturday late game.
Without questions, like and you said it perfect. Like no, to Illinois nor UConn. This is also another opportunity because I think UConn sort of backed their way. Yeah, I think UConn won when North Carolina versus Duke happened in the Final Four. UConn ended up winning that championship that year. What was that? That was 3 years ago? Was that 3 years ago? Yeah.
Mhm.
But so this is another situation where UConn has got the much easier. And again, don't mean no disrespect to Illinois. They're in the Final Four for a reason. I have watched 0 Illinois games. I have not. I have no idea who is on their squad. So I got to go back and do just a teensy bit of research. Like I've seen a couple UConn games. I've seen a few Michigan games. I've seen a few Arizona games. I've seen 0 Illinois games.
Then I invite you to tune in at 6:09 p.m. on this Saturday, Easter Eve. It's Easter Eve.
Easter Eve. Y'all make sure I go to church the next day.
Did you just give me the upcoming game schedule?
I did. 6:09 p.m. Eastern Time. TBS, True TV, HBO Max.
Thank you so much.
I invite you to tune in.
For inviting me to watch a game that I'm actually. I'll depend. I don't know where I'll be. I might be at. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be at a baseball game, but I'll figure it out.
All right. Real
By
quick.
the way, the head bumping referee is not a fine. He's not going to the Final Four.
Okay.
The NCAA announced 11 officials for the Final Four on Monday. That dude's not one of them. And I don't know if it's because he's headbutting coaches or what's going on, but he's not going to be there. So there'll be no Eskimo kissing, head rubbing going on this weekend.
Well, I was going to say that we would need to refer to our forehead expert on the SportsBros.
Oh wow.
Behind my back to my face. You acting like this thing is my fault.
Couldn't help it, bro. I couldn't help it.
I,
I
t- I,
really.
I tell you once, like I told you last week, and I tell you again and again and again. It's a lot of ideas, a lot of brains, a lot of mumdubla oblongata. It's all up in
Oh
here.
man.
All is in here. All right, fellas, before we hop off of here and go to our favorite portion of the show, real quick, looking at these games, UConn, Illinois, Arizona, Michigan. Who you got, Scotty D?
I'm gonna have to go Arizona against UConn. Arizona to win it all.
Be live.
Michigan, UConn, and I got Michigan winning it all.
Okay. UConn, Arizona. I'm headbutting with Dan Hurley, baby. I'm headbutting with Dan Hurley.
I
I'm
want
headbutting
Hurley to
with
win
Dan.
another one.
Yeah, he gonna win another. That'll be his third and
The
4 years.
third and 4 years. Yep.
Yeah. That is the ladies had a dynasty. Now the women have now the men have a pseudo dynasty as well too.
I
And
lied. Correction. That North Carolina Duke Final Four matchup, that was 2022. Kansas ended up beating North Carolina. That was
yes,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes.
I apologize for that.
Remember
UConn,
that?
huh?
Remember that?
Oh, I got a list.
I remember it.
You just made the list. He said he got him a list. All right, so real quick, fellas, y'all probably been paying attention, but I got your love to the. If you look at the women's side of things, all the number
One.
ones,
Yep.
all the number ones have made the Final Four. We got my beloved Lady Gamecocks. Oh boy, we got a tall test against UConn.
Once again, yeah, the semifinal match, a
Yeah,
semifinal game
it should have been the damn title game.
right.
Yeah, it should have been a title game, and then we got Texas and UCLA. Trick Williams was on First Take this morning, and he was hyping up the Gamecocks, but he's a smart man. I'm a little, we're going to throw the kitchen sink, a random USB fan, a third monitor, the kitchen sink. We're going to have to throw everything that we can get our hands on to beat UConn because they're tough, man. They're tough. They're tough. They are tough. And if we survive that, we got to play the winner of Texas and UCLA. And Texas, who won the women's SEC championship. UCLA got this girl named Lauren Betts. She's a tall girl. She gets in the way. She patrols the paint. So I just hope my lady Gamecock can do something. I just hope they show up. That's all. At this point in time, man, I hope they show up. Eddie, you should be more confident of your team. I am, but I'm also a realist as well.
Just
too.
a real quick note because I know that we don't watch women's basketball as much as we watch men's basketball, but
it's close for me.
But let me just to give people an idea, you're about to see one of the greatest women's Final Fours that you probably will ever see in history. These teams are legit the four best teams in the nation. They deserve their number one seed. Like I said, it's crazy that you're getting UConn, South Carolina.
When's that game? I might watch that one.
Semifinal.
When's that one?
Friday at 7:00.
I'm busy.
Me too. No, I think I'm off. I think I'm off. Yeah, I think I'll be able to watch that game.
Friday at
I gotta
7.
watch that one.
That is literally opening. That's the opening game of the Woodpeckers. So I'll see if I can set up my tablet somewhere, but I will not be able to have my focus on that game. But I'll try to get bits and pieces of.
I'll tape it in the VCR.
Not a VCR. Who the hell has a VCR in 2026? Anyways,
that's right. It's 2026. No, I'm not gonna tape.
Oh man. Anyways, man. So shout out to all 8 teams in each respective Final Fours. With that being said, looking at my phone because the hell we're getting watched. It just ain't gonna happen. Guess what time it is?
What time is it? What's happening?
Oh, Black Snow. I'm glad you asked this time once again for our favorite portion of the show, the choices of the voices. With that being said, hey, yo, Button, hit it. We'll be back with the choices of the voices.
And now, our favorite part of the show, the choices of the voices.
you to the wonderful and
So lovely, Miss Button.
for introducing our favorite portion of this show, the choices of the voices. When we ask you a question, you give us the answer. And I don't know what the hell Scotty D just did, but I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And we talk about it right here on the Sports Bros podcast. Choices of the voices. With that being said, Scotty D, what's on tap for this week's choices of the voices?
Well, we were talking about March Madness. We are talking about Cinderella and how there really wasn't one this year, and really not so much last year either. And we talked about why we thought that was with some of the changing landscape of the finances of college basketball. And we asked, does the lack of the Cinderella in March Madness take away for your enjoyment? Do you miss that, or are you happy with how things are now? Are you good? Are you satisfied with it? Well, what's your opinion on the Cinderella story and lack thereof in March Madness? What do they say, Eddie? Cool. We had a couple answers.
The best name in the game. Joe Comfort, he says, I'm a fan of the potential upsets in the tournament for the wow factor that they create. Not only do Cinderella teams make for good headlines, they also show the unpredictability of the tournament and give hopes to schools who aren't necessarily powerhouses. If things fell in line according to tournament rankings, it make for
It would be the
one.
women's tournament.
Yeah, well, no, it make for
Well,
one that isn't as exciting with those upsets.
with
Okay.
the women's tournament.
Like the women's.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
locked.
Yeah, you're right. Because when you look at a women's tournament, it's
So 2 years ago, when I was at Waynesburg, one of the classes I did, the professor said, where everybody's going to hand in a bracket for March Madness, and we'll see who the best is in the class. And we did one, and I handed it in. He said, okay, we're also going to do one for the women. And I thought, okay, I don't know anything about this. So you know what I did? I picked the higher seed in every single game, and I won that bracket. I was in the also rans in the men's bracket. The more I knew, the worse I was. The women, I just picked all higher seeds. I said, I don't know anything about it. I'm going all higher seeds all the way through, and I end up winning.
South Carolina, UConn, Texas,
Yeah.
UCLA.
When you've got in the Elite Eight of the women's tournament, number 1 seed versus number 2 seed, and the number 1 seed beats the number 2 seed by 36 points. That's just that shows you that there's literally no parity in women's basketball. The elite are going to be elite. They're going to stay elite. Which I mean, it's going to be great for these final 3 games, but for the round of 6 for round of 32, we're not really. We know. Bring on the next game.
But bring on the water, the Titanic.
I think the Syracuse women's coach made a point of that matter that like for the past 3 years, Syracuse has always somehow matched up with UConn because of their proximity. And so therefore it's just she said it was like this is not even fair at this point. We're going to end up running into UConn. They're going to beat the brakes off of us, and we're going to go home. Like, can we get some type of something so Syracuse can lose to South Carolina?
They should start letting them play 6-on-5.
6-on-5.
Where do you get this from? All right, Martin Tracy.
If 5-on-5 is not working, nobody's beating them. Let's make it interesting. You want me to tune in? Give me a 6-on-5 game.
And some swords.
No,
you know what's coming. Damn, this guy did them swords. That's a throwback to a previous episode. All right, Matty Ice, Martin Tracy says, my college basketball team allegiance is flimsy like a floppy disk. The only consistent I will always root for a John Calipari team, but I live for the Cinderellas and fall in love with them every tournament. So he ain't really got no team, but wherever Coach Cal is going, that's where he at. But then again, he loves the Cinderellas because you learn about new things when it comes to Cinderella teams, right?
Matty Ice, let me tell you something.
Oh, here we go.
I think I said this on a previous episode, probably last week. My brain's fried. It happens that way. I will never, ever, for the remainder of my days on this earth, and as long as John Calipari is coaching, I will never trust him again. I will absolutely not. Nope, and hell no. I knew better, and I still tried. Like I said, Arkansas won the SEC tournament and then they proceeded to play zero. I mean, zero defense. And, I mean, I get it. Arizona is like the number one team in it. But they played zero defense. Like it was such a lackluster performance
What
from
was
a
the final
team.
score? Like one
A
ten to
lot, a
six
lot to a
to a
little.
little bit. There we go. That's all we need to know.
I just watched my bracket just disintegrate right before my own eyes.
You know what? That's a conversation for your therapist. Next.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go.
6-on-5 basketball
In swords.
You like that idea. You like it.
I absolutely did not.
You'd like that 6-on-5 idea. Hockey plays on like a 5-on-4. What's wrong with basketball? Doing the same.
Well, the hockey
There's
does.
somebody in penalty. There's someone in penalty box. Get 5 fouls. Penalty box.
Hockey does play 6-on-5 though.
Yeah.
Empty net.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they do actually play.
Crazy like a fox I am. All right.
There it is.
Next.
All right.
That's not how any of this works. No.
All
actually,
right.
they actually have 6 players on the ice at all most times. So it's really 6-on-6.
Thomas says good close games are good close games regarding of the seeding and matchup.
Not an answer.
Yeah, I saw nothing about a Cinderella. Nothing.
Well, to his regard, I think he's basically just saying games are going to be good games. We put the Cinderella tag. The reason why we put the Cinderella tag is because we don't know these teams. They're mid-major teams. We don't know what they're going to do. Miami of Ohio was, even though they went undefeated in the regular season, they would still be considered a Cinderella team if they made it any further into the bracket.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's just the level of play. Like their record doesn't mean much if you played against teams that are just not that good. And so at the end of the day, the parity, the gap, the talent gap is becoming wider and wider. That's the reason for this question in its entirety. And I might as well go into how I feel about this question.
We got one more before we go.
Oh, there's somebody else that I didn't have listed.
Yeah, Tony Bogan. Bogan.
Got you.
TV
right.
Tony Bogan. Yep, he says I miss seeing Cinderella teams making deep runs. Keeps us on our toes and elevates great stories. We should have had Colorado State in the Sweet 16 last year, but Derek Queen traveled on the last possession. That he did. And walked.
So really, from our choices of our voices this week, it's pretty much unanimous that they missed the Cinderella team. And I'm gonna add to that sentiment. The reason why Cinderella teams are so prevalent is because it's unexpected. It like we as human beings have the tendency in the nature of rooting for the little guy. And for them, when they make those runs, it's great for the fans. It's even greater for the kids. Like you learn new things about these schools that we have oftentimes never heard of. Have you ever heard of Florida Gulf Coast before that magical run?
Lob City.
I mean, Maryland was it? UMBC, Maryland, Baltimore County. But have you anybody outside of Maryland ever heard of them?
Nope.
And now, we have the fortunate, we are fortunate that we have background in the Carolinas. But how many people actually knew about High Point?
Very little, unless you're from the area,
right? And now they got some eyes on them. It's seeing these schools get elevated, and I hope that they will continue, even though they're not making it far into the tournaments at this moment of time. I hope these stories still come up because not everybody is a 5-star recruit. Not every kid is a 4-star recruit. These kids will get a chance to go to some of these smaller schools and really showcase their talent. There's a lot of kids out there that don't have they just never got the exposure. They play at a small school in Podunk County, BFE,
Yeah.
and recruits and agents and stuff like that never have no way of even knowing who this kid is because the school doesn't have a media program or stuff like that, and so they don't get the offers. Then they go to a small school, and they're the only time you ever see them is during March Madness. And then
Yeah.
this kid comes from nowhere, and we're like, now he's got with the couple of games in the conference tournament in March Madness, this kid has a whole highlight reel. And now he has the possibility, and this is the good side, I think, of NIL, is that he does have an opportunity to make something off of his own name because now he has that exposure. Now, granted, yes, it is pulling from the mid majors to the rich getting richer, which is still something that's tough for me. But doing it the right way, I think NIL helps with that matter. It just still, I wish there was a better way of that money going to smaller schools,
Right.
staying in the smaller schools as opposed to him transferring and now he's getting these deals. Like maybe some of these kids stay in their respective schools and the money comes to them as of them going to the money. So
Makes sense.
that's where I want the Cinderella story, and I want it to happen in that sort of sense. That hey, stay where you're at, and the money comes to you. As
What
opposed,
say? Yep. What say you, Scotty D? Do you miss the Cinderellas? Could you care less, or what?
Well, we saw one of the great games of all time, Duke and UConn the other day.
Mm-hmm.
If Furman beats UConn in the first round, we don't get that.
Nope.
Everyone talk about how great Furman was, and then they go out and get crushed by UCLA in the second round. So I didn't miss it this tournament. I mean, I do understand. And look, I have also like enjoyed watching a big shot like I had in the picture. It was a Valparaiso or was that the Bryce Drew shot and
Yep. Bryce
everybody
Drew. Yep.
diving on him and some of this. I get it. I do get it, but I like the marquee matchup, and I like that Duke got to play St. John's, and I like that um, Arizona is going to play Michigan, and nobody upset that apple cart. And I like that. You know, Texas and Purdue played each other. Texas kind of was an upset, I guess, to get there, but were they really? They weren't really a Cinderella. So that would end up being a great matchup. 79-77, Purdue beats a really good Texas team. And that was really not the Cinderella that in the typical sense.
right.
You know, it wasn't LSU who made that incredible run to the Final Four or George Mason, you know, the teams that, and I say LSU because they weren't that good that year that they went to the Final Four. They were down in the SEC and had like that magical run, but like a George Mason or a VCU making a run. See, those are a little bit more serious. San Diego State of a couple years ago had a
Yep.
good basketball
Mm-hmm,
team for a
mm-hmm,
couple
mm-hmm.
years ago. You know, you had those kind of things, but I wasn't excited to watch San Diego State in the Final Four, but I'm looking forward to Arizona playing Michigan. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, yeah, I don't mind an upset here and there, but the big Cinderella, it doesn't do it for me personally. I like the marquee matchups. I like watching the best go at it. I like the heavyweights, and even when the best has a bad night, they don't get to make up for it. You're done, single elimination, which is the magic of the tournament, the urgency of having your best game and putting your best foot forward. But I didn't miss Cinderella this year. I thought the tournament was fantastic. I enjoyed the entire tournament.
I'll give you a good point to San Diego State. While it was a magical run for San Diego State, when it got to that national championship game, it was we knew who was winning that game,
Yeah.
and it showed. So
Yeah.
I definitely get that point. Eddie Cool, of course. We have a little bit of nostalgia with San Diego State.
Oh man, be like, where's the bathroom? I gotta pee. Where's the bathroom? Oh, there's Marshall Falk's uniform. The bathroom's
Yeah.
this way. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Scotty D, that was Eddie Cool's commencement ceremony was at San Diego
Yeah.
State.
Yeah,
And
it was
so
pretty the good old Aztec. It was pretty cool. We also got to see Kawhi Leonard's jersey in the Raptors. I'm like, oh, this is where he played ball at. Cool.
yeah,
Um,
it was pretty dope.
It was so that'll save me for last. You know, when I think about this time of the year, I think about March Madness and the Cinderellas, then one particular team stands out. No, not Florida Gulf Coast. No, not Loyola of Chicago, but the 2017 South Carolina Gamecocks. We had very little expectations coming into the season, but we established ourselves as a strong defensive team, and we just went forward. Man, listen, we beat Baylor. We beat Duke. We beat Marquette. And we beat Florida. And we made a magnificent run, but, we hit the wall. And, of course, things happen per usual. So, in that sense, I think I think it was the same year the girls and the guys made it. But I think the Cinderella adds that mystique to the game. Like, ooh, they're playing University of Maryland Eastern Shore or Illinois Technical Institute. What's that school up there? Newton, NJIT, New Jersey Technical
Yes.
Institute, or Long Island or something like that. And then, like, they get hot, they start shooting threes, and then something, and the games get close, and it's like edge of your seat. Now, if you're betting, if you sports gamble, ooh, it's not good for your health, not good your health or your pocket. But I think the Cinderella provides an extra layer of mystique to an already busy tournament. You got to think you got X amount of games going on one side of the country and another side of the country and another side of the country, and then your head's like what day one of the tournament, your head's doing this, you're doing this. You know what the hell's going on or what your head's doing this. So this year in particular, did I really miss the Cinderellas? Not really. Not really, but I'm saying like Cinderella's good for the tournament because they do add a layer of mystique. Like you said, unless it's like women's college basketball where there's South Carolina, UConn, Texas, Tennessee. You got 1 through 5, and then everybody else have at it, have at it. But the other USC, they're gonna be hell on wheels next year. Yeah, they got a recruit coming in and Juju's coming back. Ooh, I don't know. It gets tough. It gets tough. So shout out to everybody for their contribution in this week's choices of the voices. Scotty D, what we got on tap for next week, sir?
What if UConn had to shoot on a basket that's 10.5 feet, Syracuse regular 10-foot hoop? That could be interesting as well. Suddenly, things are a little bit different for UConn, a little bit more challenging.
So that thought entered your brain, and then you decide to continue to go with it.
Or you're in the lane 3 seconds, trap door opens. You can fall right through. You gotta get out of the lane. You don't see 3 seconds called very often. You see it now. Now,
Yeah.
if you're in the lane, if you know a trap door might open under your feet, you're getting out of the lane. I can promise you. All right. So next week,
This is the same dude that has the problem with everybody shooting threes. Now he want a trap door in the paint, which would do the exact opposite of what he would want.
that would be interesting.
A trapdoor and
Swords.
we gotta make this thing interesting, man. We gotta make this
No,
thing interesting.
no, we don't. Leave it alone.
All right, Scotty, what's on tap? Is that the question?
No, it's not. It better not.
What do you like better, trap doors or 11-foot hoops, or ones that move like in the arcade?
You don't give us your real question, man.
All right, so we've talked in the past before about unbreakable records. We're going to ask this question. This applies to all sports or college pro. What would be the most exciting record that's out there that you would like to see broken? Like, think back to the summer where we had McGuire and Sosa going after that home run record, how exciting that was. And then a couple of summers later, Bonds did it. It wasn't nearly as exciting. Well, partly because nobody liked him except me. But that was a magical run. Or when Cal Ripken Jr. was trying to get to the consecutive games mark. There's records in every sport that are super high. But think about what would be so exciting to anticipate a record being broken. Ricky Henderson stealing 140 bases, whatever, in a season. Somebody would get close to that. Something along those lines. What record in any sport? I just listed all baseball, but there's football as well, obviously. Basketball. LeBron just broke a big record past Kareem a couple years ago, 2 years ago, last year, whenever that was. So if somebody's approaching LeBron and somebody that could be interesting. Anything along any unbreakable record, or not so unbreakable record, what do you think would be exciting or interesting, or which one would you just like to see somebody grab? And that'll give us something to talk about next week. Pretty cool.
All right. With that being said, that does it for another edition of Choices of the Voices. Coming up next, Be Live. Get that 5-pound donut off that bat. Why? Walk-off shot. We calling it right now. Stick stay. Don't you dare go away. We'll be right back. Right here on the Sports Bros Podcast.
And a walk-off home run.
Okay, boys, time to wrap it up. Let's go home with some walk-off shots.
All right. You heard a woman. She said, you know what? I'm not going to tell you boys to wrap it up and go home. She said, hey, go ahead and hit this walk-off shot so we can get up out of here. Take a Gatorade bath and enjoy some wings and a brewski for those of you that indulge. This is the walk-off shot. You know how we do it? We pick one topic. We talk about it. We go around the horn real quick. We round the bases, and then we slickety slide in the home. Head first without any collision. All right, I'll go first. All right, on this day in history, fellas, in 1990, a 20-year-old Quebec Nordiques center, Joe Sakic, scores a goal in a 3-2 loss to the Hartford Whalers to become the youngest player at the time in NHL history to score 100 points in a season. Well, needless to say, a handful of years later, I think it was 1996, Joe Sakic and the newly relocated Colorado Avalanche went on to win the franchise's first Stanley Cup. If you ever had a chance to watch Joe Sakic play hockey, it was an absolute treat. He was one of the best to ever do it. So, yeah, on this day in history, back in 1990, Joe Sakic scores a point in the loss and says, you know what? I got a hundo on the season. Over to you, Scotty D.
All right, so this past Saturday, I watched a little bit of this UFC fight card that Israel Adesanya was the main event. And last style bender, unfortunately, is starting to get into that Roy Jones era of his career where he was once a fast, lightning fast, unbeatable guy and now can't beat anybody. That's 4 straight losses now. This one, a stoppage in the second round to Joe Pyfer, the legendary Joe Pyfer. I had not heard of this guy. He's a good fighter. He hits hard. Ranked number 14 at the time. This is Israel Adesanya, man. And it's starting to break my heart to watch him. And after the fight, he said, no way am I considering quitting this sport. I am just going to keep working at it. And I thought, you've already been to the pinnacle. Don't do this. Don't make us watch you go out there and keep losing. We did that with Chuck Liddell a few years ago where he just went out and just got battered. And it's not fun. So I hate seeing Izzy go out there and be just another guy in the cage whenever he was so special just not too long ago. But if you want to see something, go to YouTube. If it's on you, go find the fight that happened right before that with Alexa Grasso and Macy Barber. It was maybe the craziest finish I've ever seen in mixed martial arts, where they both women were engaging. Grasso hits her with the left hand, spins around, she drops to a knee, and like a snake, Grasso was on her neck, choking her limp body. It happened in a matter of a second. And the referee jumped up, and Macy Barber looked like she was a corpse just laying there. You can see her breathing, but the lights were on. Nobody was home. It was insane. Go see the end of this fight. Alexa Grasso, Macy Barber is their second fight. And I tell you, it is a sight to behold for mixed martial arts. But that's where I was at on this Saturday and watching a little UFC. Be Live, over to you.
Oh, man. As you know, my third and final pepper point is now converted to my walk-off shot. You know I'm here with the crazy and the ridiculous. So here we go. As we know, the FIFA World Cup is being held in the United States, Canada, and Mexico this year, and it's coming up very soon. But I have to present a proposition to many businesses out there that are going to be affected by the World Cup. I would need a representative from AT&T, representative from SoFi, representative from MetLife, a representative from Mercedes-Benz, Levi's, NRG, Lumen, Gillette, Hard Rock, and Lincoln Financial. I need you to reach out to the Sports Bros podcast because we feel like you've put in a lot of money and time and effort to advertise your respective businesses when it comes to the NFL stadiums that are so aptly named. Because during the World Cup, unfortunately, none of those stadiums have corporate names. By FIFA World Cup rules, AT&T Stadium is not AT&T Stadium, but it will be, I believe this is going to be Texas Stadium, where SoFi Stadium will be Los Angeles Stadium, NRG Stadium becomes Houston Stadium. They are not allowed to carry their corporate names for the stadiums during the FIFA World Cup. So much to the point that they actually have to scrub and cover all mentions of the name all across the stadium.
Oh, for crying out loud.
So which go ahead, B Live. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
With one glaring exception. The Mercedes-Benz emblem that's embedded on the roof, the retractable roof in Atlanta, they can't remove that. So they were like, bro, we it's embedded. It's just gonna be there. So FIFA's like, well, because you would have to basically rip apart the roof to remove the emblem, and then FIFA's like, all right, you get to keep the emblem, but I'm pretty sure we're not gonna show any aerial footage of the stadium per FIFA rules because no branding. They have their own brands, et cetera, for the world to.
So where is FIFA based out of?
I think they're based out of the Netherlands.
So they're going to come to the United States and say, hey, take all your stuff down, or we're not going to come to your stadium.
If they're not getting no kickback from it.
Zurich, Switzerland. Zurich.
Here's what I would say. I said, listen, we'll go ahead and host you, but don't tell me what to do.
As a country that
I'm leaving it up there.
As a country that is known for going into other places, taking it over, and telling people what to do.
So I'm looking at the.
I'm not talking about the country. I'm talking about my stadium. If I own a stadium, you're not coming to my stadium and tell me take down my Adidas sign. No,
y'all probably can't see it, but I'm looking at this image of AT&T Stadium, and right on the big window it says AT&T Stadium. And they got the AT&T logo like right above it. So I'm trying to figure like, how are you gonna?
Don't tell me what to do.
Unless
FIFA, you stupids.
And then looking at the scoreboard, they got they got some scrub in the boy. I hope that check nice Jerry getting.
Well, the thing about this is that these contracts were made a very long time ago.
Yeah, I say, all right, I'll do it, but you better start scoring some goals. You ain't coming in. I'm not taking down a poster of LeBron James or whoever I got up there. I'm not taking down my giant telephone that says AT&T. I'm not taking that logo down for you to come in and have a 1-0 game. No, we're gonna have trap doors and swords and lions and moving parts. And that's what we're gonna have a fun. We're gonna have a fun event, and the Savannah Bananas are gonna come running out right in the middle of the game. We're having fun.
Savannah Bananas, that does sound fun. I have got to see. They came up here to Cleveland and sold it out, and I was mad that I missed it.
Back-to-back nights, they sold out Pittsburgh last year, PNC Park.
Have y'all? So Eddie Cool, you say you haven't. Sky D, have you witnessed a Bananas game? Have you been
on TV? I didn't go. No,
that's on TV.
Yeah. I get bored with them in about 10 minutes. I couldn't sit there and.
I'll let you guys know in a couple weeks.
Oh, you going?
Oh, you going to? That's cool. Be like going to a Savannah Bananas.
They are coming to Kenan Stadium, UNC Tar Heel Football Stadium, April 12th, and I will be there.
Thank you for not inviting me to that.
I honestly didn't even put in the freaking lottery. A good friend of mine, Brenda Johnson, she put in the lottery for it, and she got selected, and she hit me up like, "You want to go?" I was like, "Yes."
Of course, I'll go to anything. I'll go to soccer. I'll go to bowling. I'll do anything.
Hey, I was like, "What?" So big shout out to my girl Brenda. She is a phenomenal person. She has showered me with Braves gifts. She's a diehard Atlanta Braves fan. And I will actually send you this link on this YouTube link. The Atlanta Braves just came out with their City Connect jerseys. Ooh,
Nice.
let me put it this way: on the sleeve, it has ATL, and it has it in the old TBS Superstation.
What?
Bro, these jerseys are dope. I gotta have it. I got to have it. They go on sale April 9th.
I'm a Superstation baby, man. I grew up on Superstation.
Right.
Real quick, fellas. While we got a few minutes left, y'all heard this mess about the referees wanting some more NFL referees
I
wanting
was
some
gonna
more.
I was gonna mention it. Yeah.
Yeah, go
They-
ahead. Yeah. What's all that about, real quick? We got like 4 minutes. What's that all
You
about?
know, the proposal I saw that the NFL was offering didn't look all that bad to me. They got like a 6% raise, and they were just asking them to do some more trainings or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
for 400 grand a year, okay, I'll do it. I only got to work 20 Sundays a year and make 400 grand. I don't know. It's a sneaky situation that's starting to creep up on us, and the NFL is trying to prepare for it now so that they don't have two guys at the end zone giving conflicting signals on Monday Night Football the next time.
Replacement referees. I
We're
never
doing it
thought I'd
again.
say
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never thought we'd be at this point again, but I was like, oh Lord. And I was like, are we gonna see some I was like, are we gonna see the normal week one hijinks or hijinks and haberdashery? Because yeah, as we all know, man, week one football ain't the best football. Between the players and it is not the best football, unless you're, a team, unless you're like the Rams or something that's beat everybody. So it's just yeah,
It's something that I don't want to see happen, but
no, we need
I, I don't. You have to find some common ground, but it seems like the owners have already agreed to do some giving on this next contract. I don't know all of it, but you better figure it out. Somebody better figure it out. And these officials, don't be greedy.
yeah.
Don't be greedy.
Because we can't have them missing plays and falling asleep and uh,
Side note, college football officials may be listening to the program because they are proposing starting the season in week 0. Now, the entire college football starts will be starting week 0. They're considering having 2 bye weeks in college football and starting week 0. So college football gets 2 bye weeks for 12 games, and the NFL can't figure out how to give 2 bye weeks for 17. Yeah, well,
I mean, it ain't that hard. It's only hard when you start overthinking it. All right,
that
overthink it.
hard.
Yep. All right. With that being said, this does it for another episode of SportsBros Podcast. Like I said, thank y'all for rating, reviewing, subscribing. Keep on doing what you do. Keep on showing us some love because we do this for us and we also do it for you. This is a sports podcast. This is by the fan for the fan. And then in closing, do something nice for yourself. And if you can, do something nice for someone else. They greatly appreciate it. Now, more than ever, be a blessing, not a burden. This is your favorite sports podcast, none other than SportsBros Podcast. Shout out to B Live and Scotty D, and good luck tonight, fellas. And with that being said, take us home, Be Live.
Yes, sir. Go Packers.
You, sir, have been cursed. My damn